same thing and struggling sort of through the same thing you are every day. Work out and get all that stuff in. So that's what I've noticed, at least myself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else? If there was something that you wish that you could improve on with yourself in terms of your health and your fitness, what would you guys pick? I know it's kind of a broad question, so you can take that in any angle that you want.
My eating situation, like my choices.
Do you think you eat too much or just too much of the wrong thing?
I just eat the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
Not even eating too much. It's like, oh, there's a donut there. Like, you shouldn't eat it, but like, there, eat it. It's terrible.
What about you?
Way too often.
Mine would be consistency.
Yeah.
Like even when there are different obstacles, like, I don't know, free lunch at the office, or like someone brings in bagels or whatever it is, like to be able to still be consistent and not be like, oh, screw it, my day's ruined, you know?
Mhm. Mhm. And it's so hard to say no, but when you do say no and you stick like to your grounds, you feel so good after. Like,
yeah,
it's so hard. Like working at the hotel in the summer, we have fresh homemade cookies every single day. Like as soon as we're running low,
are you kidding?
Homemade cookies, bagels, muffins. Like there's 51 rooms in the hotel, so we have like hundreds of like baked goods. And I'll go in that my where I like punch in and out. It's right next to the kitchen, so I smell it, and everyone like wants to like grab one of like the golden cookies on their way out of the door. And I'm like, oh, I want that so bad. And I do go through phases in the summer where I am going for those cookies every single day. But then there's times when I don't, and I feel really proud of myself, because it's almost like, what's the point of working out? Like taking that time to work out if I'm just gonna fuel my body with crap, you know?
Yeah.
It's completely negating the whole like time that I put in to like work on myself. So like why do we keep doing that to ourselves? But it's so hard to kind of like put yourself in that mindset when it's like right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
As
I walk by the most delicious smelling Italian restaurant. Come on.
Pizza is like my thing. Anything pizza related. I'm like, oh, because the bread, the cheese, like, I found lately that, and I don't know why I like am just piecing this together. I'm not eating enough protein, so I'm not staying full as long, and that's when I'm like going after all the carbs. So I'm really trying to like be more mindful of my protein intake, because I feel like that will keep me fuller longer, and I won't be like reaching for junk food.
Yeah, that's why I've been really good about making sure that I have breakfast every single day. So I used to always skip it and just be like, I'll be fine until lunch. But then I eat twice as much at lunch because I'm starving.
That happens. I know, and it's hard for me. I don't know, Emily, if your husband like eats healthy, or Kay, like your roommate, but my boyfriend and his brother don't at all. So I have a house full of junk food 24/7. So like I'll buy my healthy stuff, but like I'm still tempted by all, like you should see the stuff that is like right next to me right now. There's like
See, that's what I'm really, really bad at. Like if it's in front of me.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Like let me see if I can show you. There is Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The pastries, I don't know if you can see those. Market Basket pastries, Snickers, Starburst. And so I'm like, great, awesome. I have my period. Like, I want all that stuff. Like,
yeah.
So it's tough. It really is.
Yeah,
I've also,
Yeah, that takes some serious willpower that I don't really have.
I mean, I'm not perfect at all. Like, I definitely cheat more than I should, but I'm really trying. I feel like lately I've had, like, not like stomach issues, but I definitely am getting stomach aches a lot, and I notice it after I have something that's not good for me. So I feel like it's kind of working for me because I'm like, oh, I don't want a stomach ache. Maybe I
yeah,
shouldn't
so you don't,
eat that.
yeah.
So,
Me and my husband.
Yeah, right? Like, it's only delicious for 2 minutes, and then, like, 10 minutes later, it's so not worth it because you feel sick.
yeah, and then 20 minutes after that, you're hungry again. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's a never-ending cycle of like
It's a
food.
snowball effect.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's crazy.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I've also noticed I do better when I'm busier because I'll like have to meal prep. I'll have to bring my food with me wherever I go. And so when I only have like quick minute to eat, I'll just eat whatever I've packed. When I have more time, like the weekend, for example, I'm like, oh, like maybe I won't meal prep. Like maybe I'll just like pick around and see what I have. And then before I realize it's like I've only had junk food.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
been
I get that.
myself, dairy always makes my stomach upset, so it makes it easier not to eat certain sweets that have that type of like dairy in them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, the stomach ache is not worth it. Even though you want it so bad, it's like, nope, I don't want to deal with that afterwards.
Yeah. Doodles, you have.
Yeah, I can't do dairy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you have issues with dairy.
Yeah, I pretty much have zero dairy ever.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I've had to go down too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like
terrible.
trying to cut down. I've cut down considerably, but I am not dairy free yet. But I've noticed like I don't really miss cheese. Like when I had the other day, I had a burger and I topped it with like guacamole, and I didn't even miss the cheese. Like it didn't even bother me. I think it's like mental, and I didn't even miss the bread either because I just had it plain.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You posted that, didn't you?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I realized like you don't really taste the bread when you're eating the burger.
No.
It's just like in a nice little package, and that's why like people eat it that way. But you don't really taste it. You taste the burger. So I'm like, why did I waste
Yeah.
the carb on that, you know?
I totally feel you on that.
Yeah. But it's something that
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, like it's something that I realized recently. Like, because everything I've done is a bad habit from like years and years and years ago. Like in college, all I had was cheeseburgers and fries. Like that's what I had every day because I didn't want to wait in line at like the salad bar or like the homemade section. So I would go and get a burger and fries and call it a day.
Yeah, that was the struggle for me too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because there was everything you could ever want there for you.
Yeah, including cookies.
Yes, cookies.
Ice
Oh my
cream.
gosh. That was so terrible. We had a soft serve machine at my school and it was like torture. But once I realized I couldn't have dairy anymore, it was like, nope, goodbye. You're not part of my meal anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
bad. Freshman year, I didn't gain any weight because I was on the rowing team. Sophomore year, I chose not to row.
I forgot you did
That's when I
that.
gained like 20 pounds. So it's definitely like the food is like no joke. And they make everything with like cream or whole milk. So like the fattiest version of the food possible. Like it's not even like low fat ice cream. It's like the heaviest cream possible.
Yeah. I didn't gain
And
weight.
like high salt, I feel like.
Yeah, high salt and like the fry later or whatever they use, like the oil.
Yeah. Grease and the oil and all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never gained any weight my freshman year, but I gained it my sophomore and junior year because I had a thyroid issue. So I have half of my thyroid. So like my whole body just is like bleh, like
Yeah, because your hormones were way off.
yeah, my hormones were insane. Like I was skinny because my thyroid was like crazy overactive. And since I didn't stay active after my freshman year, I just started gaining weight.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible.
Mm. I know so many people that have thyroid issues, so
It sucks.
Yeah, John's sisters have it, like all of his sisters.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And my medication doesn't help either. It's like the worst. Ugh.
Mm.
So.
That's because all of our food is like modified.
Yeah. I know. And Christina, those podcasts like don't help at all.
I know, I've been learning so much. I've been listening to like all different ones too.
Mm-hmm. We've been listening to this podcast. I'll share it in the group. But she talks a lot about food and like what it's doing to us. And we're pretty much screwed regardless. Even if we grew our own food from our backyard and never went to a grocery store, because of like the weed killer that we sprayed in the 70s, we like sprayed it all over the place, like crazy amounts. And now it's like in our soil, it's in our rainwater, it's in our air. So we're like inhaling this like compound that is so bad for us, that's causing us all these issues like weight gain, leaky gut, stomach aches, depression, anxiety, even like autism with childbirth, like the randomest things, and it's all related to what we're eating, but we can't control it at all. But if we were in a different country, like Europe or something, our symptoms would decrease because they don't have nearly as much of that in their air, water, and soil as we do.
Wow.
So we've been like learning a lot of stuff, which is super interesting.
Cool, though.
What?
I said that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting. There was like one day.
Doomed.
Huh?
So basically, we're all doomed.
Yeah. One day, Christina and I were talking like literally for half an hour, like recapping the whole podcast because we were like, oh my gosh, like what the heck is happening to us? Like, no wonder why we're lactose intolerant. Like, no wonder why this, like, crazy.
It's crazy how things happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's actually the podcast that I was listening to that I got into intermittent fasting with. So she's like really good about all that stuff. And it's actually Shalene, the woman that's on the Pio videos.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so she's really cool to listen to. I might share that tomorrow morning in the group.
Yeah, I like those. She's great.
She's funny too. Okay, so one last question before we wrap up. If there's anything that I could do better to kind of hold you more accountable or just help you, even if it's not necessarily related to accountability, but just helping you reach whatever goals you have, what could I do better?
I love the videos. I'm a big fan of those.
Like when I'm talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I'll keep doing those. I didn't do them as much in the previous groups because like sometimes like halfway through the group, people would kind of like fall off because they were like busy with stuff and they weren't in like the honeymoon stage. So I was like, I don't want to like create all these videos and then no one watch them. But I feel like this challenge I think has been different. I feel like people have been sticking with it. So I'll definitely keep doing that.
I definitely like the videos too. I mean, I'm a person that with like audio and visual together, it kind of with me better. So when I read something like through a text or whatever, or just even like on like the board or whatever, sometimes it's nice, but when you actually have someone there that you know and is actually kind of like, hey guys, like kind of sort of putting you not against the wall, but like I'm kind of making sure that you're sticking with it and kind of holding us accountable.
Especially when I'm
phone just
so
decided.
hungover in bed and you did that Cinco de Mayo one. And I was, oh my God,
Ah!
he knows.
I thought that was hilarious. I made that on Friday
Oh.
night at my parents' house, and I was like, I know so many people are out right now, like drinking margaritas, like having the time of their life, and I'm going to post this at 6 a.m. the next day, and they aren't going to see it until like 10. But they're going to be like,
Yeah,
oh
I
my
was
gosh.
to bed at like 11.
I know your comment, I was like dying because you were like so open about it. You're like, this is directed towards me.
But yeah, I like that. And it's just being honest too. Because I mean, some people always, I mean, not just always, but some people try to like, especially me sometimes, I kind of like run away from the issue or try to like avoid certain things to be like, oh no, I didn't do that. Like, what are you talking about? It's just one day, but then one day can turn into like 7 days and then a month. And then it's like, okay, you're causing bad habits to continue. So it's nice to kind of have like a honest checkup with yourself.
Because I did the same. I still go through a little bit with that with my nutrition, but I've been a lot better about it with my exercise since I've been coaching, because you guys help me too. Because there are some days I try and get my stuff done in the morning, but there are some days when I don't. And then there are days when I'm the only one that hasn't logged. And I'm like, who am I as a coach? Like, not logging my stuff. Like, I need to get on this. So you guys help me just as much as I help you. So that's why I feel like this is like such a good format. And like another thing too is before I started coaching, every now and then I would like run a race. And like, Christina, it wasn't the one we were supposed to do together, but it was the one before that. I ran a half marathon, and then I literally took like 3 months off from working out. But in my head, I was like, oh, like I can still run like 13 miles, like no big deal. But I didn't work out for 3 months. Like, who was I to think that that was possible? And then I went out for a run one day, and I like made it a mile, and I was like winded, like absolutely dead. And I feel like, because no one was checking in on me to be like, did you get your workout in? Or like my phone wasn't like going off saying like, you haven't logged anything yet. So in my head, I thought that I was working out, but I wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
So it's definitely kind of, it just makes you more like in the moment, I guess.
I agree.
Also, like, especially running, it's so easy to get out of shape running. I'm like trying to get back into it again, but I have to start over. You know, I can't like I can just get up and do like 6 miles right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get into it too, but I need to get sneakers, like new running sneakers, and I just like haven't had the time or patience.
I'm doing that tomorrow.
I like haven't. I need to so bad, because for the PiYo Live, like I'm starting my classes in July, and it's so different from the regular PiYo. I'm like, I need to work on my cardio. Like, I need to go on some runs and like boost up my stamina, but I just haven't gotten that far yet. But yeah, it's crazy. And I remember freshman year of college when I was on the rowing team, we had like a month off from school, like for winter break. And they were like so strict with us. They're like, you cannot take this month off because you detrain yourself in like 12 to 14 days. You start losing muscle mass in your endurance.
Yeah.
So like 1 week of not working out, you could lose like all of your like results, you know? So it's like so important that like I try to do groups 3 weeks out of every month. So even if people skipped that last week, they were only off for like 7 days, and then they'll get right back into it. It's so easy to get caught up in not working out or eating healthy. And then before you know it, it's like, what the heck happened? Like,
Yeah.
you know? Awesome. Well, is there anything else, or do you think that is pretty good for now? I'm so glad that you guys hopped on here tonight.
Me too. Keep doing your thing. Your posts are amazing.
Yeah. I love them.
Thank you. Awesome. All right. Well, I will end this then, and I'll probably post this in the group if that's okay with you guys. And then I'll see you in the group tonight or tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.